Streaming live across the country, tackling the topics everyone is talking about online. Share, engage, and interact. This is Newsfeed Now.
Good Wednesday, everyone. We finally made it halfway to the weekend. We're so glad to have you with us here on Newsfeed Now. I'm Suzanne Bruner. We're going to kick things off at the nation's capital right now, where this morning a private ceremony was held at the Supreme Court for the late Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg's family, close friends, and colleagues. Right now, thousands are paying their respects as Justice Ginsburg lies in repose at the Supreme Court. Justice Ginsburg died late last Friday at the age of 87. Following a long battle with pancreatic cancer. We now know that President Trump plans to announce his nomination to the U.S. Supreme Court on Saturday around 5 p.m. We want to bring in Kelly Meyer right now from Washington for a deeper look at this timeline. Kelly, glad to have you with us. So once President Trump makes his nomination, what can we expect to happen next?
Yeah, thank you for having me. I am actually just about to head over to the White House here shortly. As you can imagine, it's been a busy week. They are preparing to make their selection. They do have that short list, but they're getting down to the line a couple days away from announcing that, like you said, this Saturday. But after that, it's going to go right to the Judiciary Committee in the Senate. So it's all going to be happening on the Senate side. That's chaired by Lindsey Graham. So I've been covering some protests here in Washington, D.C. at his house regarding how he will confirm the nominee. But it looks like right now Republicans are lining up the votes they need to get this done. The question now comes down to timing and if they could do this before Election Day.
How soon could we see this go in front of the Senate? Because, like you said, there's a short list. I know President Trump has been considering either Judge Amy Coney Barrett or Judge Barbara Lagoa. Those are his two front runners. But how soon could we see this all play out after Saturday?
You know, it really depends. I know that Republicans and Senate leadership there are, pushing this through as quickly as they can. They want to get this done before Election Day, and now that they know they have those votes they need, you can pretty much bet that Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell is going to make that happen. So you're going to see this process as soon as he announces it. You're going to see them try to kick that into full gear on Capitol Hill. I'm hearing whispers that that might be the week of October 12th, that they'll have that in the committee with Senate Judiciary Chairman there, Graham, but we'll see how it'll play out. Keep an eye on it.
Now, you were at the Supreme Court of the United States over the weekend for several days following Ruth Bader Ginsburg's death. Tell me a little bit more about the atmosphere. And what was that like when you were out there? It definitely shows the kind of impact she left behind.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, immediately after we heard the word on Friday night, we headed over to the Supreme Court, and there were already crowds gathering, leaving flowers and candles. And what was interesting at that time, you really can't walk on the steps of the Supreme Court, but because it was so unexpected, they were all filling the steps. And then as soon as I went back the next morning, the barricade was set up, the police were there, no one allowed on the steps of the Supreme Court. That's a very rare moment, but seeing everyone crowded around, it was incredible to see. And as you said, you're still seeing that outpouring here this week with her lying at SCOTUS, and then again, she will be at Capitol Hill on Friday.
Yeah, we're taking a live look at what we're seeing out there right now as Justice Ginsburg lies in repose there. What's on the agenda for the rest of the day? What are you taking a look at over at the White House?
The White House, I'm switching gears to some state attorney generals coming into town from across the country looking at social media bias. So it's a little different, but we are keeping our ear out for any potential murmurs of what's happening with SCOTUS. He also just announced he's going to have a press conference at 6 o'clock that seems to be focusing on the economy as well as vaccine. So the president himself will be doing that press conference. So we'll be keeping an eye on that.
All right, Kelly, appreciate your time. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Staying at the Capitol, News Nation sat down with President Trump exclusively in a wide-ranging interview. Joe Donovan has a recap. Looks like we're having some technical difficulties getting that recap for you, but you can check out the full interview that Joe Donlin did with President Trump right on the website. It's at newsnation.com. Actually, I think we do have it right now. Our producer's telling me that, so let's take a look.
Do you know who it is right now?
I have a pretty good idea. I haven't made a final decision, but pretty good idea.
Starting with the Supreme Court opening, the president said he will announce his nominee Saturday. As for the upcoming election,
He said his strategy to get to a second term is to focus on his opponent.
Well, number one, I think I have to convince people that Joe Biden, he's not fit for the position. He's not fit. He can't handle this position. He couldn't do it in prime time, let alone now.
As the United States passes 200,000 deaths from the coronavirus, we asked the president if there's anything he would have done differently early on in the pandemic.
The only thing I've done poorly is the public relations, but that's because I have a fake press. The press is fake. They don't write the truth. And we have done an incredible job considering the fact that this is a terrible situation.
Mr. Trump hit many familiar themes, attacking the press and listing his accomplishments, saying he's done more in 4 years than most presidents have done in 8, adding the next 4 will be incredible. Are you going to win on November 3rd?
I think so. I mean, based on our achievements, I should. Based on the enthusiasm, I should. Based on the massive crowds that we're getting, I should. I've had one of the most successful administrations in history.
The first presidential debate is next Tuesday. Joe Donlin, News Nation at the White House.
A lot more was said in that interview with Joe. You can see the full interview right now, once again, on newsnation.com. You can also download the news app right to your phone. Now, there is an important update in the race for a coronavirus vaccine. Johnson & Johnson has announced its vaccine candidate has begun the final stages of clinical trials right here in the U.S. The company hopes to enroll up to 60,000 adults, and that's going to be those trials. I guess those adults will be in 8 different countries, and that also includes the U.S. Unlike other vaccines, which will require 2 doses 1 month apart, the Johnson & Johnson vaccine can be given in just 1 dose. If the vaccine is proven to be safe and effective, the company expects the first batches to be available for emergency use authorization in early 2021. This marks the 4th vaccine to enter late-stage trials in the U.S. Switching gears to the NFL, it is handing out more fines to teams that are not complying with the league's COVID-19 protocols, and these are some hefty fines. Las Vegas Raiders coach John Gruden and New Orleans Saints coach Sean Payton were each fined $100,000 for not wearing masks during their Monday night game. In addition, each team was fined $250,000 for the offense. Gruden has since apologized for not wearing a mask. Tropical storm Beta drenched Houston Tuesday. Here's video of it. A ton of flooding, and it left several parts of the city underwater. The storm dumped heavy rain on the Houston area. As you can see, left many cars overrun with water. Now, some parts of greater Houston have received upwards of 10 inches of rain in the last 24 hours. Meteorologist Maria Sanalongo has more from Houston. Good to see you, Maria. We are seeing a number of pictures, even video of the flooding online. What kind of problems are agencies having to deal with right now because of the high water?
Well, definitely, it's been a long 48 hours for southeast Houston. Take a look at the 48-hour totals right through downtown Houston, and it was kind of a prolonged period of rain. We had Beta make landfall right around Matagorda Bay, and it pushed inland about 10 o'clock on Monday night. It barely moved, so again, the rainfall totals have just been really impressive. We did have numerous high water rescues, of course, lots of the bayous, the creeks, the rivers. They were nearing either bank full or over their banks. These are some of the rainfall totals in the last 48 hours. So right south and southwest of downtown Houston is where we saw some of the very just high totals that provoked tremendous flooding. So 13 inches in 48 hours was some of the highest rainfall totals that we saw.
What are we seeing today and possibly tomorrow? Are we going to see more rain in the Houston area, or are we going to start to see this all kind of clear out?
The good news is that it is expected to clear out. We did have tremendous flooding, as I was saying, for some of the bayous. One of the worst hit ones was one that we always monitor around Greens Bayou. And take a look at some of the comparisons with what it is at now, 53, almost 54 feet. The highest it reached during this storm was 55, almost 56. And there are some comparisons with Ike, Imelda, and even Harvey, of course, not surpassing Harvey. But this was just 48 hours. And again, it was extremely extremely heavy rain that we had to deal with. Luckily for us, though, that rain is pushing away. Not great for folks that had to deal with Laura, unfortunately, in southwest Louisiana. They're going to be impacted by this rain that's pushing in their direction. But luckily, we are going to have a chance to dry things out and kind of get the city back to a little bit brighter weather.
All right, Maria, thanks so much. We appreciate your time here on Newsfeed Now.
Thanks.
The International Space Station was moved Tuesday to avoid space debris. NASA says astronauts carried out an avoidance maneuver, that's what they call it, just to ensure the station would not be hit by a piece of debris. So NASA says the object passed within several kilometers of the space station. There were 3 crew members on board, 2 Russians and an American, and they relocated in a Soyuz spacecraft as the maneuver began so they could evacuate if necessary. NASA says such maneuvers are fairly common. And before we go, this is a great story here. An Alabama woman who claims to live without a bucket list checked off skydiving to celebrate her 80th birthday. Landon Wexler has more on her daring adventure that definitely makes this a bucket list staple.
I knew she would do it. I knew she wanted to do it. And honestly, on the way up here Saturday, I thought I was going to throw up. I mean, in the car, it was like I'm about to hurl.
But unlike Strickland, Westerfield said she didn't have time to think enough to get nervous or nauseated.
I was still trying to get into position, and I'm out.
Only 6 o'clock in the morning and my heartbeat is out of control. 10 minutes into boarding, feels like I'm about to explode.
Westerfield tandem jumped out of a plane for the first time over Wynmont and Coleman. I asked Skydive Alabama tandem instructor Michael Barnett about the safety procedures in place for 80-year-old Westerfield's ride of a lifetime.
But they work closely with the FAA to make sure that we're following all regulations, and lots of times we're doing above and beyond to make sure that we're doing everything as safely as possible and to make sure that we give our customers the best experience possible.
A resident of Coleman since 1976, Westerfield said she saw and recognized most of the town she had raised her family in.
I saw straight to Coleman. I saw the water tower, you know, just different places. And finally he said to me, he said, "We're over at the airport." And I'm like, and then I looked down because I'd been looking out. And I said, "Oh gosh, yeah, we're at the south end of the airport." And he says, "Most people don't know where they're at when they're at the airport." But I did.
After safely floating back down to her family who had gathered to watch her adventure, it took a few seconds to get her back on her feet. Once you stood up and stuff, the family was all around you, give them a hug, all that good stuff.
No.
So what'd you do, Sue? What did you do? Westerfield's reunion with family on solid ground may not have been the storybook moment they anticipated, but it was a moment her children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren will always remember her by.
Oh, it's great. It's great.
When you were like 20 or 30, did you ever think, like, I'd be so cool at 80? Or I'd
No. I'm thankful and blessed to be here at 80.
And to be
Really.
just
Be able to move and get around and have fun and enjoy life. I'm very blessed.
The family spent the rest of the weekend celebrating their grandma Sue, concluding her birthday weekend festivities with a tea party for her and all her friends. Now her children are trying to decide how to top this year's celebration.
And it gets more fun.
Yeah, it gets more fun, more adventurous every year, doesn't it? It really does.
Westerfield's family has promised to keep CBS 42 in the loop on Grandma Sue's birthday celebrations to come. Landon Wexler, CBS 42, local coverage you can count on.
What a birthday celebration. Happy birthday, Sue. I love it. We have Landon from Birmingham, Alabama joining us now. He was covering this story. Oh, man, I needed to watch that. That is so fun. Okay, so, you know, she didn't buy this herself. Her kids surprised her with it. But when you're up there, I mean, did she have any doubts? I mean, what was her experience like? Was she kind of hesitant?
Suzanne, if you think of any hesitation in the world, Sue was not showing it.
Wow.
Well, like she was, I asked her, I said, not a negative emotion in the world. She responds, not at all. Not at all.
Love it. Hey, when she made that land, it was so funny. You asked something. What exactly happened? Because I think her family wasn't there. I missed that.
I got you. I got you. So what happened? You saw that landing, and my voice was behind it. I asked her. I said, when you landed, did you get up and go hug your family? And before I finished that question, she responded, no.
That's okay.
What? We just like. I was like, what?
That is amazing. She's like, you know what? We're not going to even go there. Okay, would she do this again?
Would she do it again? If her daughter bought her a package, it sounds like it. Doesn't sound like she's going to be buying that package herself, but I'd say if we nominate her, Newsfeed Now. Right now, we say, Sue, round 2, let's make it happen.
We
can start a movement.
Not bad. Okay, so I guess what are her plans for her 81st birthday? Not that she doesn't have a bucket list going on, but you know.
She says no bucket list, lives by no bucket list. But she says that her daughters said that her family basically said that they'd keep us in the loop for round 2 for next time, but they say each year it gets more and more adventurous. I don't know how it gets more adventurous than this, but
I know, right? Well, I'm glad she was all smiles on board when she landed and everything. I'm just glad she enjoyed it and had a great time. Best birthday gift for her right there.
I'm covering it too, so heck yeah.
I know, right? All right, thanks so much. We appreciate your time, Landon. That's a great note to end the show. That's all for Newsfeed Now. We are back here tomorrow, same time. Enjoy the rest of your week, everybody.